So let's start with Python. Okay, I'll just quickly stop sharing. I'll close this open board and open in VS Code or Jupyter Notebook. And you people know about what is this? Have you worked with Jupyter Notebook? Both of you have worked with Jupyter Notebook.
Yes, sir.
Yes, in VS Code we used. I used
Yeah, okay.
IPYNB file. Yeah.
Right. I think you have been in my Python batch, right? So I think it's not a problem for you that I would have done the initial things with VS Code, Jupyter Notebook. So it's fine. Okay, let me share the screen. Yeah, let me know once the screen is visible for all you people, for both of you.
Yeah, visible from.
Visible.
Yes, visible.
Don't worry about the tabs which is opened on the top. Okay, so this one particular file we are going to work with. Okay, see, a normal Python file will be with an extension of .py. Jupyter Notebooks will be on the extension of IPYNB. Okay, so it will be stored in terms of notes. Okay, notebook, like a notebook. Okay, but in terms of yeah, other files, right, it will be .py file. Okay. See, if you wanted to do the basic things of installation, those things also let me know. But as of today, we have just planned for starting the technical topics like data types and all. Okay. I think if you know it already, just have it as a brush up. Okay. If you are just right now, you are seeing at the first time, just make sure that you try to understand. If there is any doubts, just get it clear. Okay. So the basic things, Python is actually the easy language right now. Python is something which everyone is preferring. Okay. So because all the documentations of LLMs, generative AI, everything people are using Python is becoming easy for to do it. Okay. So Python was created way back in 1991 only. Okay. So basically other languages were complicated. We have C++, Java, and we have many languages. Okay, so all these languages, C++ and all will be complicated. So Java is complicated. One of my candidate who's I'm just taking his class for 11 to 12. He's in US client. Every day night I'm just making class. Going forward after your classes by evening, I'll be attending his class. So he's a Java developer. Okay, currently learning Python with me. Okay, so he will, whenever I teach a topic, right, he will say, "Oh my God, I'll do this one for 6 lines or 10 lines. This is doing something in 1 line actually." So he will just every time he will be excited to see a code. So even C++ also, even whatever that you see, right? Python will do it something in a single line, okay, or some few lines. Okay, so it's basically an easy to read. It's called as an high level language because it's easy to understand. Okay, basic an English like language, English like coding programming language. Okay, this Python, right? It's not named after the snake. Okay, so it's actually the one of the they will say as Monty Python Flying Circus. Okay, so it was something a show. Okay, a comedy show. So that person who have invented this Python has been influenced by that circus show, and he took that name and put it as for this language. Okay, so it's a easy to learn language. It's a open source. Okay, open source means, see, when you hear these words like open source and all, right, it's not something that you have to pay and use it. Okay, you will hear these words like if you are into data science future, right, and if we are growing your career towards generative AI and all, they will tell ChatGPT is open source, Gemini is open source. Open source means like they will, what they will do is they will not get pay from you. Okay, then you will think like, if not getting paid, then why they are inventing? Okay, so the reason that why they are inventing is they will invent it, they will put us up open source, and they will train their models, train their things using you people. Okay, so they will put as a open source. People who are people can able to use it. Okay, and if people wanted to purchase their advanced things, right, advanced editions, they will approach them and they will get it. Okay, whatever that you see, most of the cases Apache, everything is in open source. Okay, And once we love their work, right, it's doing good, then we'll approach them, and then we will ask for, we need a PySpark, we need a Hadoop. We will ask it, then they will give us. Okay. Likewise, Python is also an open source. Okay. Python is used for multiple things, not only for data science or data analytics. Python is for web development. We can use it. Python for data science, you can able to use it. AI, you can able to use it. Automation. Okay. For example, I have two Excels. Okay. I wanted to do anything. VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, anything. Okay. So simply what I'll do, I'll just take that data from that Excel and this Excel. I'll convert it into a data frame using Pandas. I'll teach you how to convert. If I forget also, just remind me. Okay. See, then and there, when I say something, right, remind me, take a note of it. Okay. So take the Excel data, put as a data frame, and I can able to do whatever that I can do with the Excel. Okay. I can do any kind of automations. Okay. So automations, scheduling, everything can be done using the automation. Okay. Even Python has become some base for some other things. Like you talk about PySpark, right? Big data technology, that is. Okay. PySpark means you are using Python like syntaxes for the Spark language. Okay. So Python is base. Okay. For cyber security also, people will use this Python. For testing, they will use Python. For DevOps. So right now, many companies, the top companies of Google, Netflix, Instagram, NASA, everyone is using this Python. Okay. So what's Python different from the other languages is Python is easy to learn compared with C language or Java language. Code length will be short compared to the other languages. Readability will be an high level language. So high level language means it's more like an English like programming language. The speed, it will be very fast because it will work as an interpreted language. Okay, when we call this Python as an interpreted language, right, what does it mean is the code will run line by line. Okay, that is called interpreter language. Okay, for Java and all, it is a compiler. Okay, it will take everything and it will run one time. Okay, Python is an interpreted language. Okay, the very first code, if you wanted to show something, right, as an output, you will put something called print. Okay, print hello world. Okay, so when I put this, right, once I write this, I can go for this right side, run this execute one. Okay, or I can able to run this for every code. Or the very easy shortcut is it is shift and enter for a notebook. Okay, see, for SQL it is control plus enter. For Python it is uh, shift plus enter. Understood? Any doubts on this?
No.
I understand that we are going from very scratch, but it's fine. Okay, I'll assure that every topics will be covered. Okay, I'll not compensate with any topics. I'll make sure that whatever the depth that needs for you both people, I will give it. Okay, but understand every word. Okay, if I say something, any word, just understand it. Okay, whatever that you wanted, just get it understood. Okay. So let's start with the basic thing. So you know what is a data, right? A data is nothing about a raw fact or figure. Okay. So I think Anbu, you are done with Python with me, right? Or
Sorry.
you're done Python with me or
Yes, yes,
SQL?
okay. I attended one. Python.
Python. Okay. And Kausalya, SQL, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
but I'm going
See,
through that recorded videos, recorded sessions of your
yeah, I
Python
understand. I
class.
know it. I know it. Yeah, I know it. So data, right? Data is a raw fact or figure. Okay. So any number string you take, everything is a data. Okay, whatever that you see is a data. Okay, whatever that you see here, everything is a data. Okay, hello world is a data. So this data can be technically classified into data type. Okay, you know, our data is on a broader level, it is classified, right? Structured and unstructured. I think if you are from my SQL batch, I would have explained it to you very clearly. Or Anbu, I think have you understood about do you have an understanding on unstructured and structured data? Is it done with your SQL batch? People have explained it.
No, Python batch you explained, okay. And tablet format and
Okay, see, tabular columns will come under structured, and unstructured columns means audios, videos, and everything.
yes.
See, Python can also do the unstructured. See, here I showed speech.wave, right? So this is actually the video which has been generated using the Python. Okay, so Python can do anything. Okay, so it will work on. So broader classification, data is classified as structured and unstructured, but on a technical level, right, data is classified as data types. Okay, data types. Okay, so what are the data types that we have is integer, float, string, boolean, and also we have something called complex. I'll also teach about that. Okay, so I'll just mark down this. Okay, I'll just mark down this. So what is markdown means? See, in a Jupyter notebook, right? So this is actually a executable block. Okay, you can able to see a run button here. Okay, executable block. If I keep it as a markdown, right? There is no run button there. Okay, it will be a non-executable block. So it will be something like a topic here. Okay, so what I suggest you, both of you people, is we are going to have the classes on the alternative days, right? So make sure that you create a proper notebook like this. Okay, like this, you just prepare it so that at the time of interviews, when you hit interviews, right? See, when I hit interviews, right, what I'll do is I'll take my notebook, I'll just put shift enter, and I'll just run each and every block, and I can able to understand what actually they are doing in each block. Okay, so that is a way, because of lack of time, right? At times of interview, you can't able to look at everything and you have to learn everything and go. Okay, so put some shift enters and understand. Same for SQL, also put some control enters. Just maintain a notebook for you to understand. Okay, you don't believe me? See, there are cases. I'll just show you. See, this is a EDA. I think I'm not sharing the screen. 1 minute. I'll just share the screen again. The screen is visible for you. See, right from 2023, right? I made a notebook. Okay, I'm just using till now. Okay, so this is something which a notebook that I've created for some usage. It's still useful. Okay, likewise, you just create some notebook for yourself and work on it. Okay, so I'll just again share the screen. Okay, let's get continued. Okay, see what is a data type is. See, if you understand the data type properly, right, that is more important. Data type will tell Python what kind of data is stored in this variable. Okay, you know what is variable, right? Variable is nothing about, see, for example, if I store a is equal to 5, right, this a becomes a variable. Okay, a storage, a container or something. Okay, so in your home we'll have something called for every masala you will have some dabba, right? So you consider that dabba as a variable. Okay, you put all the data into the dabba. Okay, so data type, right? What kind of data I can able to store into the variable, that is actually the data type. So should I store only integers into this variable, or should am I storing a string into this variable? What kind of boolean into this variable? That is a data type. Okay, so is this a number, or is this a text, or is this a true or false? True or false is boolean. Okay, true or false, or is it a mathematical imaginary number? Okay, mathematical imaginary number, something like 3i plus j. Okay, I think this thing and all you would have learned in your younger ages in your school, like complex numbers. Okay, so all these things what you learned only you are going to learn here. Okay, so integer, let's understand about the integer. Okay, see how you comment in Python is you will put hash to comment it. Okay, so hash is actually used for commenting up. Okay, in Python. Okay, see, I'll have some auto suggestion, but when it shows auto suggestion, right, don't think that I have typed it. Okay, so I'll my laptop, I add this auto suggestion, so I just made it so people don't think that I've typed it. I'm not typed it. X is equal to 5. It is actually the auto suggestion. Okay, so let me tell you what is an integer is. See, integer is a whole number. That's it. Okay, no decimal, no quotes, no letters. It is just a decimal. Sorry, it is just a whole number. I'm sorry. Integer is a whole number. No decimal, no quotes, no letters. Integer is a whole number. Okay. So if I say age is equal to 25, okay. So basically it is a integer. Okay. So when I say print age is equal to age, right? It gives age. See, look the way that I'm printing it. Okay. See, first thing, I just made the string. Okay. Whatever that I made it, right? It has came here. Okay. Then I put a comma, I put the variable. For variable, should I have I made any quotation for it or quotes for it? No, right?
No.
Understood or not? This is more important, guys. Okay. At a beginner level, you will make mistakes. You will make this also within quotes. Okay. So automatically what happens is you will get something like this. Okay. So just make sure variables will not carry the quotes. Okay. But whatever the string that you're going to add it, right? You have to put the quotes. I'll also tell you some F string quotation. Okay. I'll teach you. Okay. I'll teach everything that I know with Python as much as possible that I can able to make. Okay. So age is equal to 25. Okay. If I wanted to know what is the type of this particular thing, right? I can use something called print type of age. Okay. What this will give you is this will tell you what kind of data type that you have took. Okay. Class int. So it is basically an integer. Okay. When we use this, why do we use this integer? For counting things, for storing IDs, for loop counters. Okay. Loop counters is nothing about a for loop, guys. Okay. I'll tell you about loop counters, mathematical calculations, years, quantity, everything you'll use this integers. For example, as I told, first thing, what counting things, right? Like for real time example, if you wanted to store a roll number, okay, you can able to use this integer. For total marks, you can able to use this. For account number, okay, you can able to use this integer. For loop counters, I said, right? Loop counters in sense, 1 minute. See, if you wanted to add some blocks, right? Click this one. It is blue color, right, on the left side. Put AA, okay, it will add some blocks, okay. Or if you wanted to delete something, right, put DD, it will delete the things, okay. And if you wanted blocks above it, you can able to put BB. Shortcuts are there, okay. I'll delete few blocks, okay. Let's get started. I'll just delete this also. Okay, let's get continued. See, what is a loop counter is? Loop counter is another word that I used for this, okay? For I in range of 5, print iteration of I, okay? So even if you are confusing with the string, right, I can remove it. So just, I'm just for looping it, okay? I'll teach about this for loop. I'll brush up the for loop also, okay? So for loop, while and all, I will brush up, okay? I'll give a deeper understanding on the for loops and all. I'll just make sure that you understand it. See, what is the internal understanding? This is more important, okay? Maybe I'll give you some extra things that I missed in the Python class or something, okay? See, internal understanding is Python will store the integers as objects in memory. Okay, Python will store these integers, okay, 101 or everything. It will stored as objects. Okay, it will store as objects. Okay, so it will allocate some memory for that object. It will store that 10 and it will assign it to something called roll number. Understood? So if you put something quotes, right, now it becomes a string. This is something you have to understand. This is a string. Everything you put into a quotes, it's a string. So even though it is a number, okay, if you put inside the quote, it doesn't mean that it is an integer. It is a string. Understood? And one more important thing, I'll tell you what are the common mistakes, and then I will continue with that object thing. Okay, Python stores integers as object. I said, right. I'll talk about that object. First, I will just uh, complete this mistakes that you will do. One thing is you'll put the quote and consider that as an integer. That is wrong. The other thing is you will try to add this integer, okay, with some other number. Okay, for example, 25. 1 minute. My number lock is off. Okay. See, when I do this, right? When I do this, right, it will throw an error. Why it's throwing an error? See, understanding errors is also important. Okay. Type error. This is a typing error. You cannot concatenate a string to an integer. Okay. So basically, it is a string. It is an integer. You cannot able to add it. So can I be able to add a string and string? Is it possible?
Maybe.
Is it possible?
Yes.
If yes, what is the output that is expected? If no, what is the error that we can expect?
If yes, it might be 101 25 space 25 or continuously 101 25.
10125 will come. Okay. No space because we have not made any space. For
Made any
concatenation, we
space.
have to give.
Yeah.
Okay. Actually, it is concatenating, but what we expected is 126 addition of both elements. Okay. So that is what the difference between. See, if you explicitly want this 25 to be added, right? You have to convert it into a string, str of 25. Okay, you convert this 25 into a string. See this, right? What I'm doing here, actually, I'm doing casting. Okay, casting is nothing about converting one data type into another data type. Okay, I am casting 25 number into a string here, and I'm adding that string to another string. Understood this?
Yes.
Okay, we'll complete the flow.
One doubt.
Yes.
In the print, you have given string and variable. You have printed it, right? In there you used a comma to print it. In the
Yes.
print,
Yes.
I
Yes.
see somewhere plus symbol also is used. Can we use plus symbol in printing and string and a variable? It won't. It throwed error, but in somewhere I saw how we will
You
use
want to
plus.
put instead of plus, you wanted to put so comma. You wanted to put plus.
Huh. For printing
This will
and
not.
string and
This
a
will not
variable.
work. No,
Is
this
it
will not work.
plus we will not be using for printing?
No, see, it's not about plus you are using. See, I wanted first the string I wanted, age I wanted. Okay. 1 minute. I'll put it here. See, what is the output that I expect is I need something like age colon. Okay, so I'll put it inside the quotes here. And then instead of the next thing as hard coded, I need the variable name. So I'll put comma age only, the variable name only. Okay, comma only you have to put. You can't able to put plus here.
Okay. So for
You can't able to put a plus here.
if it is continuously string means we can use plus symbol. If it is variable or integers or coming in means we can't use plus. If we have to use comma only there. That's my
No, see,
understanding.
if you can print something like this, I'll remove these things. I'll remove these things. Okay. See, printer, I'll tell you, this is one way of printer. Whatever that I put inside the code, it will print me. Correct? I'm printing a string here. Okay. So for example, if I wanted to print a number, no quotation is needed. Okay, print 25. I'm printing a number here. Okay. Or if I wanted to print something like my age is 25. Okay. I can able to write my age is 25. Okay. Everything will come up. This is understood. How to print a string, how to print a number. This is understood.
Yes.
Okay. So for example, if I have a is equal to 55. Okay. I wanted my name is okay. And whatever that I assign to that a, right, it should show me. Okay. So for that one, right, what I have to do is I have to write my name is first. Okay. So my name is first means it will give my name is correct. And I'll put a comma. Okay. And I'll put that variable. So what is the understanding is it will write my name is and then it will put 55 with a space. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. This is how we have to print. Okay. And one thing, never ever assign print is equal to 99 and all. Don't do it. Okay. Because if you do print is equal to 99, right? I'll do it for you. Print is equal to 99. I did it. Okay. So going forward, I wanted to print. Okay. My name is. Okay. It will throw an error. Why? Because print you have assigned 99, right? So going forward, the print functionality itself you have taken out. You faded it out. So right now it's something like what you're trying to do is 99 of my name is. So it says that 99 is not callable. int object is not callable. Okay, the only option that you can do is, again, you wanted to restart your kernel, and then you have to make sure that you don't do this mistake again. Okay, see, when you make some variables, right, I'll talk about this. Okay, what are the things that you have to make sure? Okay, print is equal to, you should not put something like this. Okay, understood? Fine,
Yeah,
now it
yes,
works.
sir. Okay.
Okay, let's complete this data types, float, and everything. Okay, we have a lot to understand in this. So next thing is about float. Float is a number with the decimal point. Okay, when I say price is equal to, okay, this is actually the float. Understood? This is actually float. If you wanted to check if this is a float or not, I'll put type of price. This is a float. Understood?
Yes.
Why we use float? Money calculations, percentages, measurements, scientific values. We'll use this float for discount, price, and all, for medical weight and all. Okay. So what is the concept here is the precision is a concept here. For example, if I make print 0.1 plus 0.2, okay, 0.1 plus 0.2, I'll print it. See the precision that is making, right? Computers store the float in the binary format. Okay, computers will store the float in binary format, so the decimals are approximated. Understood? Understood. See, for financial systems, right, for financial domain, use decimal module. Okay, I'll talk about this decimal module later. Okay, there is something, a decimal module you can able to use. I'll talk about it. Okay, see, division will always gives float in Python 3. Actually, we are using Python 3. Could you able to see at the top? Right, it is 3.10.11, right now in industry also we are using, for my project, right, I'm using Python 3.9 or something in my project. Okay, so in Python 3 versions, all are using Python 3 only today. Okay, so if you do a division, right, for example, if I'm dividing, x is equal to 5, y is equal to 2. Okay, I'll print something, print of x divided by y. Okay, it will give me in a float. Understood? Understood? I'll come to this part of string. Okay, string is a text. Okay, so either if anything inside a single quote or a double quote, it is called as a string. Okay, I'll tell you one nuance of why there is single quote and double quote. Why there is not something like only one quote is enough, right? Why you are having two quotes? Why you are giving option is, see, I can able to write this as a string. This is also a string, right? I'll put print Raj, type of Raj. Okay. Oh, sorry. I'll put type of Raj string. Okay. Understood? Even if I put single quote also, it is string. Okay. What is the purpose of using single quote and double quote? Why not Python should have, can have only one thing? Both are giving quotes only. Why? And or Kausalya. Are you people there?
Yeah. In such case, in case of defining using single quotes, the string is also containing a single quotes. At the time we'll be using the double quotes. Likewise, vice versa, we can use, right? No, so
Exactly. Exactly. So what is the understanding is, for example, if I have something like print, okay, print students, right? Students, something like this. Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute. Something is problem here. Okay, now it's sorted. Okay. So see here, I said single quotes can also be used, right? So when I make something like this, right, it will throw an error because it doesn't know either you wanted me to print a student alone, or you wanted me to print yes alone, or you wanted to print student apostrophe yes. Okay. For these cases, right, we'll use these double quotes to differentiate that the thing which is inside is a single quote. This is one way you can able to differentiate. This is the reason that they have single quote and double quote, the primary reason. Okay. But I add one more thing. If you have a single quote here itself, right? Single quote here, single quote here. Okay. So you can use something called backslash. Okay. So if you use backslash, right, what does it mean is you are telling this quotation is not something a quote of string. This quotation is not, this quote is something about a literal. Okay. Literal means it is actually a string. Understood?
Yes, yes.
Anbu, as I covered this in Python, as I covered this part.
Yeah, yeah. Even I have gone through this
Yes,
in
Arti,
your
it's covered.
Python
Yeah.
recording.
Yes.
Okay, then great. Okay, so this one is actually for a string. Okay, so even if you wanted to do multiple lines, right, you will use something called triple quotes. Okay, triple quotes. Single quotes you can't able to make multiple lines. Understood?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So why we use strings, names, addresses, messages, emails, passwords, even for JSON data, right? SQL queries will use this kind of strings. Okay. So strings are mutable or immutable, guys?
Immutable.
Why it is immutable? Interview questions these are. Okay. So that's the reason I'm asking you. Why it is immutable?
Yeah, we cannot change a string. Means we cannot assign a value to a string.
Exactly. See, for example, if you have string something like name is equal to Raja. Okay. So you know how to index the string, right? For example, if I put name of 0, it will throw me R. Okay. Name of 1, it will throw me A. Okay. Because indexes, the position of each character in a string starts with 0. Okay. 0, 1. In SQL, it starts with 1. For in Excel, it starts with 1. Because you people are going to work in SQL, Excel, and also Python. You should know the difference between the index. Okay. So index starts in Python with 0, but other cases it will start with 1. Understood? So if I put instead of Raja, I wanted to make it as Roja. Okay, so name of 1 is A. Okay, I'm just trying to assign this Raja with something called instead of A, I'm just going to assign it as O. Will it do it? No. Understood what I'm trying to do? So this is the reason we say that strings are immutable. If in interviews people ask you if strings are mutable or immutable, justify, you can simply tell this example scenario. Like if I have a string, if I want to take a particular index of a particular character from a string, and if I assign something, it will not get assigned because of string is immutable. You can quote it with an example. Understood? Any doubts on this?
No.
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 So coming to string concatenation, right? String concatenation. See, I already told you this. For example, if I have first name is Raj, last name is Kumar. My full name, right? How I wanted to make is I wanted to make something like this. First name, okay, first name variable, okay, plus, okay, and the space I wanted to give intentionally, or else it will give without space. Okay, so it will print me what is actually expected. This is understood, guys.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I'll tell you one pro way, okay, of printing. So if you have age is equal to 25, right? Take age is equal to 30. Okay. See, how you print is rather than printing something like this, okay. How in projects people will do this is people will do in projects with using F string. Okay. See, in all my projects I've used F string. F, okay, put F quotes within quotes, right? my age is and put flower brackets, okay, and close the quotation. Would you able to see what is the difference that is made? This is actually the professional way of writing the thing. Always prefer F string, guys. Okay, the thing that I taught you right before, right? Put a comma, put price. These and all. It's all kind of a okay for a beginner. It's okay. Okay, not wrong. Technically, it's right. You get an output. But if you see a code, right, this is something which is a professional way of writing a Python code. Understood? Any doubts on this?
So here for anything apart from the constant string, if you are passing any variables that you will be using flower brackets, correct?
Yes. See, flower brackets means you are making a placeholder. Okay. Making a placeholder. Okay. So in this placeholder, if I put something else, right, it will throw an error. RJ is not defined. Okay. But if I put any variable here, right, it will take that exact variable. Understood?
Yeah.
Whatever that, see, variables you should put inside the flower brackets. I think this is not covered, I think, with Python. So
Yeah.
F string.
New.
This is F string. Okay. Professional way of writing. Okay. And this one, right, age. If we have age, again, age is equal to 25. What is expected on the output?
Yeah, my age is 25. The recent value which has been assigned is been taken into account.
Age will be
Because
changed.
variables are temporary storage. Understood? This has to be in your mind every time. Okay. Because these small things will waste a lot of your time. Understood? So this is one thing that I have to add. And 1 minute. Yeah. So what else? Let's go with the Boolean. Okay. So Boolean means it has only two values. One is true. See, exactly follow the word. If I make capital letter TRUE, it is a Boolean. Small letter, it is not a Boolean. Okay. So the Boolean word, right, it will show blue color. 1 minute, just give me 1 minute. Yeah, am I audible for you guys?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sorry, I just got held up. So true and false. Okay, exactly the same case sensitiveness. Okay, so this is actually the Boolean value. If you put small letter t, it is not a Boolean. Okay, so capital T, capital F, important. Okay, that is actually the Boolean. Why we use this Boolean? We use this Boolean inside conditions. Okay, for login validations and all, we'll use this. For checking the status, for comparisons, for decision making, we'll use this Booleans. For example, login system, I told, right, login validation. For example, in your use case, you use something like if it is logged in is equal to true. In a if condition, you can able to use, right? If logged in is equal to true, then do this thing. Okay. If transaction is equal to false, you can able to put a if condition. Okay. You can able to put something like an if condition. If this is equal to true, print will come back. Okay. But logged in, we have not defined. But I'm telling this is a way that we'll be using this Boolean things and all. Understood? So
Yes,
even
sir.
Booleans are used for comparisons as well. For example, if you wanted to do a comparison, okay. For example, 5 is greater than 3. Okay. I'm telling 5 is greater than 3 for some example. Okay. You will be using this for your use case. Okay. For example, you have one column. You wanted to take each and every column and you wanted to check with an corresponding other column. Okay. You will check with that. If it is true, you wanted to put some value inside there into a new column, then use this Boolean. Okay. So Boolean will give you true, false and all. Okay. True and falsy things will be there. Understood? Any doubts on this?
No.
Very important for professional, I'll tell you. falsy values, right? If I put for example, I'll tell you if 0 print the value is not printed, else. So what is actually here we are doing here? Actually, it is boolean because 0 means what? It is actually false. Okay, I'll tell you this. Are you able to see? Okay. So if it is a 0, print this will not be printed. Else it will be printed. So basically, boolean is nothing about we are using this boolean for multiple conditions. We'll use this. Understood? Any doubts on this?
How it automatically takes it as not 0 or 0 something? This code part.
I don't understand your question.
No, how it automatically went to else part. If
See,
0.
here we have, yeah, I understood. See, very good. This doubt you're thinking is correct. Okay. So here Python is automatically deciding the answer. Okay. Because the reason is, see, how this if will work internally, the if statement will check is the value true or false. Okay, it will not check is it 0 or is it 10 or is it string or is it list. Okay, it will is this value truthy or falsy? That is a question here. Okay, is this a value truthy or falsy? Okay, so what is truthy or falsy? See, some values are automatically treated as falsy. What are the falsy values are 0, 0.0, empty string, empty list, empty dictionary, none, false. These all things are called as okay, falsy values. Understood? Any doubts on this? Till enough? No, right? So when I make if is 0, right, what does it mean? If 0 means it is actually a falsy value. Okay, except these everything is truthy. Except this everything is truthy. Okay, so when I make if of 0, Python internally converting the 0 into boolean. Internally into boolean means what I'm trying to do. See, bool of 0. What is the answer, guys?
False.
False. So Python is internally converting the 0 into false. Okay. So your code become internally like if false print yes, else print no. Okay. So it is automatically skipping the if clause. See, logically this doesn't give sense. Okay. Then every time this part is not going to execute because every time it's going to be false, it is not going to execute. Okay. But I want you to understand about the boolean. That is what. Understood?
Yes,
Every
clear.
time this code will execute only else condition because see this is not 0. Okay, this is actually internally Python is looking like false here. Internally Python is thinking this is a false. Understood?
Yeah, clear, RK.
Yes, sir.
See, this is called as implicit conversion. To be specific, we call this as implicit Boolean conversion. Okay, implicit and explicit conversion means if I do str of 25, I'm doing a conversion explicitly from external. Implicit means automatically Python itself converting that 0 into false. Correct? Understood?
Okay.
Any doubts on this? So you'll be using this, guys. Real time, you'll be using this code. Okay. So this is what I say. See, on a data analysis part, right? I'll tell you one thing. This course which I'm taking for both of you, right? I'm not subjected only for the data analyst part. Major part will be 90% will be the data analyst. 10% for Python, right? I wanted to add a basic understanding on Python because at initial time, right, when I was took for the job, initially for first 6 months, they took me as a data analyst, and they initially given me something work in terms of the Excel kind of things using Python to understand my Python understanding. Okay, so Python is something which you have to understand. Okay, because you will not know like what the project. See, you should not be something like I am a data analyst. I will work with these technologies. You should give a project. Whatever the project they has, right, you have to adapt it accordingly. That is why you are paid that much. Okay, so you should adapt to it, but don't adapt too much also. Like if you are a data analyst, if they are asking you to work on the front end or only the Excel part, don't adapt that much. Okay, because when you jump to the next company, right, they will ask you what you did in the previous company. You should not say something irrelevant. Okay, understood how the Python is designed for this boolean values. This understood.
Yes, clear, RK.
Yes, sir.
Real time we'll be using this part of if false,
I'll tell
likewise
you. I'll tell you. That's a good question. Okay. See, this is whatever doubts you get, it just get me it. Okay. Your doubts will get more information. See, for example, you know about if clause. Both of you know if clause. I think if condition you'll know it. Okay, because I mean, Anbu, you are in my full-time Python class, and you would have gone through basics of thing Python. I think so, Kausalya. So both of you would have an idea about the if clause. I'll tell you one thing. Just give me 1 minute. See, I have something called, I have my list, okay? My list, I have 1, 2, 3. Okay. Screen visible, right?
Yes,
Length
yes.
of my list, okay, is greater than 0. 1 minute. My list, I wanted to make it with underscore. 1 minute, guys. Okay, understood? What I'm trying to do here? Last block is understood. This one is understood. What is I'm trying to do here?
Yes.
See, instead of writing like this, I can simply use this boolean thing here. Correct? It is professional, right? It is professional, right? See, technically it is right. I don't say that technically you can able to write something like this. I'll again show you. Technically, it is right to use something like this. Okay. But professionally, when you make a code, right, a cleaner code, right, you can use something like this, which is more professional. And even you know what? You are working on the time complexity. Okay. How efficient your code, right? This shows your efficiency of code. Why it wanted to count the length when you putting LE and right, it is actually doing a process of counting it. Correct. So see, what is the difference between these two? Here I'm counting the length of my list. It will show 3, and then I'm comparing with 0 if 3 is greater than 0, and then I'm printing this. Right. I'm giving more work for my CPU and memory. Everything I'm giving more work. Okay, for this case, right, what I'm trying to do is, if my list is there, okay, if it is existing, print this. If it is not, print nothing. Understood? Is understood
Yeah.
or not?
Yes, yes, clear.
Okay, if Python sees something, right, it's nothing about how Python is internally working, right? How it is working is, if I say, see, if I put this as an empty list also, I'll just tell you. If I put this as empty list, it will throw nothing. Why? It is
It
also my
doesn't
list, right? But why
false,
it is it?
false.
What internally the Python will understand is, sorry, internally what is the understanding is, if, okay, my list means something. Understood? I'm talking about, I'm mapping this and this. Are you able to understand this? Something, actually I'm making a common word, okay? If there is something, you print this. Okay, if there is nothing, don't print this. That is what I'm meaning here. What boolean of something is what? Boolean
True.
of something is what? 1 minute. Boolean of something, okay, anything. If it is a string, I have to put a quote, okay. Boolean of something, okay, it can be integer, it can be a string or whatever. Boolean of anything except that falsy values, right? Except that falsy values, Boolean of anything will give us true only. Correct? Understood?
Yes, RK.
Understood? Okay. So let's get forwarded. Just give me 1 minute. I'll just check if something I left or not. So we're done with the Boolean, okay, about the truthy and falsy values as well. So let's understand about the complex. Complex is something which will not be frequently used. It will be a rare usage, but this is advanced actually, but this is something important sometimes, okay. So complex number, you know it, right? In a complex number, we'll have a real part and as well as the imaginary part, okay. When I say A is equal to, okay, 2I or 2 plus 3j, right? Here 2 is a real part and 3j is the imaginary number. Okay, imaginary. Okay, why we use this complexes for signal processing, for advanced mathematics, for electrical engineering, for scientific computing and all, we will use this complex numbers. Okay, but most predominantly we are not been using. Okay, but it is good to understand about it. Okay, what if you are working in some big organization where they are using some quantum computing or something they are doing now, you should know it, right? What is Python is having that future or not? So hence I'm letting you know about it. Okay, I'll put x is equal to. We are all brushing up things, guys. Since we have not started with the NumPy or Pandas and all, once we start, we'll just go deep into it. Okay, maybe most of these things you would have already known by yourselves. Okay, understood what is actually doing. 2 plus 1, the real part has been added, the imaginary part has been added here. Okay, so checking data type, you know, type of variable you put, it will check the data type for us. Okay, and what else? See, all this integer, right? I'll give you one more understanding. Integer, float, integer, float. See, integer, float, bool, list, dictionary. These all objects. Okay, what is object? See, Python is an object-oriented language. Okay, so it is objects. Okay, if you wanted a detailed understanding on what do I mean by object is, see, what is an object in Python is any object, right? It should store a data. Okay, it should have some type. Okay, data type, and there should be a behavior for it. Okay, for all these integer float, right? It is actually storing a data. It is actually a type. It's actually having a behavior. For integer, what is the behavior, guys? It can add, it can multiply, it can able to subtract. These are the behaviors, correct? See, if you wanted to understand in a real time, right? Think of a mobile phone. A mobile phone will have a data, right? What are the data in mobile phone? Brand name, storage, battery level. These are the data. What are the behavior? A mobile will call, a mobile will message, a mobile will used for camera. These are behavior. Likewise, when I say when I say when I say x is equal to 10, right? 10 is an object. Here 10 is an object. Okay. The 10 is a type. What is the type of 10? Integer. What is the value of 10? 10 itself. What is the behavior of 10? It can add, it can subtract, it can multiply. Understood this?
Yes.
Good as of now, right? See, this is a 10 is not just a number, okay? Not only it is a number, it is a number, I can accept it, but 10 is just not just a number, it is also an object of the class integer. Understood? Object of the class integer. Understood? No doubt, right?
No, RK.
No, Arth.
Every object in Python will have an identity, will have a type, and will have a value. Okay. For example, if you want you to show the ID of this 10, right? Identity of this 10. Look at me. I'll put print ID, identity, ID of X, right? Sorry, ID of not X. I'll put 10. For 10, there is an identity. Are you able to see? Actually, this is nothing about memory address. For anything you put, it will show something. If I put string also, some string, there will be some address there. Understood? Huh? Every object in Python will have some identity. This is identity which I'm showing right now. Memory address will have a type. Actually, the type of this is what? Type of this is what? String value. That is a value. HJBH is a value. Understood?
Yes, RK.
Yes, sir.
Okay. See, I'll tell you one thing. If you can understand it, it's fine. If not understanding, also leave it. I'm just wanted to add some a professional understanding for you people. See, I'll tell you. I'll tell you one thing. You understood about this. Every object will have a identity, type, value, and everything, right? See, Python. When I say something like x is equal to 10, y is equal to 20, right? Okay. Python may store both these things pointing to the same object in memory for small integers. Okay, I will show you. Wait. Print ID of x, ID of y. Okay, here it shows different, but sometimes, right, you can able to see both the things would be same. Okay. Okay. Sometimes what Python will do is sometimes Python will optimize the memory for small numbers. Understood? Okay. Okay, I'm sorry, it's not 20. I'll put 10 here. Now you see, 10 is stored in X, 10 is stored in Y here, but both are showing same number. I'm sorry. Understood enough? This is understood.
Yes.
Python X is equal to 10, guys. Y is equal to 10. Python is storing both are the same object. Okay. So both are pointing to the same object in memory, but variable it is different. This is storing in a variable called X. This is storing in the variable called Y, but the address, right? Address of that particular object. Okay. It's pointing to the same object. Okay. In memory. Understood this? So this is nothing about object caching. Okay. This is for advanced level. I'm just telling you object caching.
Can you spell it?
Object caching or caching, people will call it anything. Okay. Understood this? Okay.
Is this a concept or some kind of
This
theoretical
is
knowledge
not
which you have?
something more important. Okay, this is not something more important, but you have to know at an advanced level, right? I just give you an hint. Okay. See, what is stacking means? See, instead of every time it is going to the disk and take the memory, right? It will store somewhere inside the Python itself, like it will take it is very fast. Okay, that is what caching is. Okay, it is not a very mandatory topic to be put on an interview, but you can able to understand it. If sometimes if they ask something called cache or cache, right, you should know what is a cache or cache. That's the reason that I'm letting you know about it. Okay, don't focus much on that. Okay, just if you understand, it's good. If not understand, it's fine. Okay, no problem. Either way, it's good. Okay. And let's move on to the important thing. See, everything is an object, okay, in Python. Okay, so we done with the data types. Okay, so I'll add on few things to you. 1 minute. I'll add on to the type conversions. Okay, casting between the different types, and then we'll go for the operators. Okay, we'll do that. Do those things fast. Well, what I'm planning is I'm planning to put much on the efforts on the NumPy, Pandas, and visualization. Okay, so that is what I'm planning to make because that's more important for a data analyst rather than these things. But here, right, I'll just make what are the things that can be made for the interviews. Okay, interview perspective, which are the things that has been so important. Understood? So, okay. See, what is the difference between mutable and immutable?
Sorry?
What is the difference between mutable and immutable? Because every time you hit an interview, right, people will ask you, list is mutable or immutable, set is mutable or immutable, dictionary is mutable or immutable, string is mutable or immutable, right? What actually that mutable, immutable means? What is that?
It can be
Changed.
interchanged.
Changed or not.
Very importantly, changed after creation. That after creation is important. Okay. So mutable means it can change after the creation. Mutable means it cannot change after the creation. Okay. Why this topic is extremely important in terms of interviewers? Because this will affect the memory behavior. This will affect the functional arguments. Okay. Actually, this is something more important for a pro developer, right? You must understand this very deeply. Okay. Immutable objects, once it's created, right, you cannot be changed. Tuple is one thing you cannot change. If you try to change, right, Python will create a new object. Okay, it will not change. Immutable types. See, immutable types in Python: tuple, string, integer, float, boolean, complex. These all integers only. So these are immutable only. Understood? These all immutable. Understood? I'll tell you. X is equal to 10. Okay. I'll put print of id of x. Okay. 1 minute. Print of id of x. X is equal to x plus 5. Okay. X is equal to x plus 5. Again, put print of idx. See, when you do this, right, Python does not modify it. Are you able to understand this? What I'm trying to do here? First, what I'm trying to do, I'm just creating x is equal to 10, and I'm just taking the address here, memory address here. And what I'm trying to do here is I'm taking 10 and I'm adding to 5, so it becomes 15, and I'll store 15 into that x. Okay. So when I do this, right, Python does not modify 10. It will create a new object called 15. Okay. And changes that ex, right, to point to that 15. Understood? 2 points, guys. Understand it very clearly, because people will ask why integer is immutable. See, I think for Python class, right, I would have taught you string is immutable, tuple is immutable, but I have not taught you why integer is immutable, why float is immutable, because I'll tell you, because you people are out of the class, right? I'll tell you. I worked for Greens, okay? Greens, there is a proxy. I'm not sure you know about it or not. Okay, so proxy means people will sit for interview and we people guide using the microphones, okay? So interviewer asked for, first he started with the list tuple, is it mutable or immutable? Then this guy has not been that much confident to tell what is tuple is mutable or immutable. He just got stuck. Suddenly that guy came to string is mutable or immutable. Again, he got stuck, right? So then he started, is integer and float are mutable or immutable? Okay. The moment that he started with integer and float, right? Even I was thinking like, why integer is mutable? So even that thing, right? You have to know all these things. Okay. So that is the thing. Even sometimes you also get confused. Even if you have a lot of experience, also you get confused. Integer is also immutable. Okay. Float is also immutable. The reason that I'm writing this code is I'm just justifying why is the integer is called as a immutable one. Why integer is called as immutable? I'm just justifying. For string, I justified you. I take Raja and I take the first letter. I try to turn it as Roja. I told you it is not able to do, so it is actually immutable. For integer, how I say integer as an immutable thing is, see, what I'm trying to do here, just listen properly. X is equal to 10, I did it. X is equal to x plus 5. I'm trying to 10 plus 5 means what happens? 10 plus 5 means 15, right? 10 plus 5 is 15. For the second query, x plus 5, it will turn 10 into 5, right? Actually, Python will not modify 10. It will not modify, it will, see, I'll take this one, see, different address, right? Different address, right? I'm taking the same 10 only. I'm doing something, but I should take the same address, right? But not a same address. What Python will do is Python will add that 5 and makes 15, right? It will create a new object called 15. Okay, new object 15 is created. And then what it will do is it will take this x, okay, all the x are relating. So in this line, right, the first x, it will take that variable x and it will point that x towards that 15, new object created. Understood?
Yes, Sarki.
Okay. Python, strings, floats, everything is immutable. Okay. Understood this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So mutable types, right? List, dictionary, set, these are mutable things. Okay. These are mutable things. How I say, so the same example I can take you for the list also to show it is mutable. Okay. For example, if I say, if I take numbers, right? Numbers is equal to, I'll make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. I'll put print of ID of numbers. Okay. Understood? We got something called 1, 2, 3, 8, 4. Correct? Now, what I'm going to do is numbers dot append 6. Okay. Now I'm going to check for the ID of numbers. Able to see? What's the understanding you got? Even though
Same
you
address.
modified the list, right, with the added one element, the address is same. Okay, but for integers, you see, you just added one number, but it has created a new object called 15 and it has made another address for it. Understood? Any doubt on this?
So for commonly, why it is immutable or why it is mutable? Likewise, if the interviewer asks, justify means we can commonly give an answer like this. The address, with respect to the address, we can give the answers, right?
They will not ask you why it is mutable and immutable. The reason is because Python has designed that way. Okay, because they are made it for multiple reasons. For example, why strings are made immutable is because of the memory efficiency, because for faster performance, they made it something like that. Okay, they will not ask you why it is mutable or why it is not mutable, but they will ask you, is it mutable or not? If you say that it is mutable, they will ask why. I mean, why in sense you have to justify why it is. How you say it as a mutable?
Yeah, that
Understood?
for that only I'm telling like previously for string you have explained it like we cannot assign it.
Yes.
So assign it we are. So commonly we can tell it as right like the address will not be same for immutable things.
Yes.
Likewise, we can
Correct.
give the answers, right?
Yes. Correct. Correct.
Eh,
But always see, always understand your interviewer's pitch, okay? Because if you if you're talking something which is in advanced level than your interview, right? The interview thinks that you don't know something, you're taking some, your answer would be right. So many of my interviews is sometimes it happens. I know that interviewer is a dumb fellow, he doesn't understand about these things. Okay. I will tell correct answer, okay? But that guy doesn't understand. For example, the same thing,
He
normalization I
will be
told you, right?
expecting one answer from the Google, but
Yes.
we'll be telling
You have
advanced
to
level.
understand his
He'll not
knowledge,
think.
okay?
Okay,
Interviews,
okay.
right? Interviewers always know about his knowledge. If he is not knowledgeable to you, right? According to you, if you think after some few minutes, if you think that interviewer is not that much good, okay, then what is expected is whatever the question that he makes, you just put that question. I'll tell you real time example. I did an interview with Capgemini. That guy have asked for normalization, okay, for the interview for machine learning, okay. Normalization for machine learning, it is actually statistics is something more important as per the description, okay. So I told all the normalization things to him, explained everything related with normalization superbly with examples, okay. But that guy, right, he is thinking about the SQL normalization, okay. At the end of the interview, he was I suspected he was little unsatisfactory. So I just asked him, sir, when I said normalization, I don't think that you have been satisfactory with that. Could you please give me an explanation on normalization? He said something like, see, what I expected is you will be telling 1NF, 2NF, 3NF, but you are saying something like standard deviation and all. I think you said something. So that moment I realized that, right? So you have to understand about the interviewer pitch also, okay? So even though the description, job description is something looking for normalization also, is something looking for that one, that interviewer is not that much knowledge to understand about it, then I have to go with the interviewer knowledge only. Understood? So if you think that your interviewer can able to understand this address, memory, object thing and all, you can able to pitch it, okay? Even for string also, you can able to pitch it with the address itself. But if you think that the interviewer is not that much calibrated to understand, right? You simply say, if I assign something, it will not assign, sir. That's it. Finish. Okay.
Okay,
Understand
okay.
about your interviewer
Fine, fine.
pulse,
Yeah,
okay.
getting it.
Okay. Next thing, guys. Let's understand about. Okay. So one of the best thing to understand the mutability nature is using this ID. Okay, mutability nature, you can able to use this ID. But anyways, so let's get continued. Let's continue with the type conversion. Okay, type conversion. Okay. See, what is the type conversion is? Okay. So 50% of times people will do this mistake, taking the input. See, when you take an input from the user, right, it will always take as a string. Okay. So for example, if I put something called input of enter your name, okay, and I'll put print hello something, right? Once I enter this, on the top is asking for my name, right? I'll put RAJAKUMARAN. Okay, Rajakumaran. Okay. So once I put this, right, it is automatically taking as a string. Understood this?
Yes.
Okay. Even if I put something number also, okay, for example,
This is the
I'll
one
put,
when I was asking plus in the print. So for string, we can use the plus.
see, I'm not using the, see, I'll tell you this part. Okay. So what I'm trying to do here, I'm not assigning the variable here. I'm concatenating here. Understood? See, before, I'll just compare. Good. At least you got that type of doubt or whatever the doubt you asked, right? It has come into here. I'll tell you. Print uh, age, comma age, right? See here, what I'm trying to do here is I'm assigning the variable here. Okay. So what it will take is it will take the value from this 25 and it will put it here. Understood? Okay. Understood? If it is an integer, Okay, if it is a string, right? If this is also string, right? Then you can able to do something like plus of age. Okay, now it will give, but how the numerical can be added to a string?
Yeah, the same doubt only I had previously. That's what I told also previously. For string, we can use the plus symbol. For integers or other data types, we
Okay,
cannot
you
use
asked, okay,
plus.
I thought string means you're talking about something else. If the value is string, yeah, you can do it. Okay, if the value is string, you can able to put a plus. If the value is number, you have to put a comma to assign it. Understood that? Good.
Yes.
Any doubt?
No.
See, here, if you put the comma,
No.
right, what happens? Yeah, Andu, you're asking for something?
No, clear.
Okay. Here, if you put a comma, right, what happens? I'll put enter the input. Kumar. Are you able to see what has happened?
Same output, right? With plus
Yes.
or comma.
Yes. So basically, when I do this right with the plus, it will give me concatenation. Okay, this is actually the concatenation. I'll put Raja alone this time. Too lengthy to write. Okay, concatenation. If I don't put this, if I put this right, it is actually assigning. It is actually assigning. Okay, but
Clear.
one difference it makes. Okay, there is a difference. When I put a comma, right, automatically there is a space before this Raja and after this Raja. You can able to note it. And if I put plus, right, see the Raja and there is a space between Raja and the exclamatory mark, right? When I concatenate, right, see that will go off. Able to see?
Correct.
Okay.
We need
Good.
to explicitly add one double quotes with space, and then only
Yes.
we can give that. Yeah, okay, clear.
Yes. For concatenation. Coming to type conversion, right? What is conversion or casting is? One data type into another data type. Integer to float, float to integer, string to integer, integer to string. Okay. So I said to you, right, every time you get some input value, right, using this input, you will get only using, for example, I'll use something called print type of A. Okay. Class str, Raja class str. Okay, I'll just print the name also. Print. Okay. Raja, it is str. Even if I put 25 also, 25 is a number, right? 25 also it will give str only, correct? So for this case, right, if I wanted to convert this 25 into str, then I have to do something called explicit conversion. Put str of e, that will convert. Okay, already it's str only, right? Integer of e, int of e, it will convert. Understood?
Yeah.
Understood? Why we use this type conversion is the user input is always string. Okay, we use this conversion. Why we use this type conversion is whatever that you take from database, right? Database will return in string. Database will return string. Okay. APIs will return string. Files will return string. Okay. For example, if you are reading a file, okay, using Python, you are importing something from file. Okay, a pipeline delimited file or some file. Okay, you will get a string only. Even though the file it has number, when you import it right in Python, you will get it using Pandas or something. I'll teach you about how you invoke a file using Pandas. You will get only as string. Okay, so you should know about how to convert the string into the conversions. Implicit type conversion, Python will automatically do. It is automatic. Explicit type conversion, it's something manual. What are the explicit conversions that we know is integer, float, str, bool and complex. Understood? Any doubts on this part?
These can be converted, correct?
No, it's not about converted. These are functions actually. Okay, these are functions. If I wanted an string of 25 to be converted into integer, I'll put inside that bracket. If I wanted to convert integer into a float, right, I can able to use something like this. 1 minute, I'll take all these off. You're able to see an integer is converted into a, sorry, a string is converted into a float. Understood?
Yes, sir. Int, float, bool, complex, string.
Yes. But one thing, guys, there is also some block here. Okay. For example, if you wanted to convert a string into a number into a string, okay, you can do it. Print of string. Okay. A number into a string can be done it. A float into a string, okay, can be done it. Okay. So anything that can be made for a string, that can be made it. Okay. Similarly, if you wanted to make an integer, right? If you wanted to make an integer of a float, you can do it. Integer of a string, here we can't do it. This is one catch here, one block here. Understood?
String
The
to
number
integer,
float,
not allowed.
no, it's actually a string with the float like value. Actually, it is not float value, it is a float like value. The string with, see, just a string it can do. This one it can do. See the second line and third line difference. Second line can be done. I'll put it into a next another block so you'll understand it. See, this can be done, but when a string is having a 0.40 something, if I convert it into an integer, it can't do it. Understood? If I just have to 25 by 40, right, without a string, 25 by 40, it will still work. See this, comparing these things. What are the things work? What are the things will not work? The last two will work. The first one alone will not work. Understood?
Yes, but what is internally happening? The dot is it is getting confused. Huh?
See, basically what is Python understanding is, it is trying to convert this string into integer. Okay, so it will take this 25.40 and try to convert into an integer, but 25.40 cannot be converted because it has some point or some special character inside it, right? So it can't able to convert it. Okay, it doesn't have that much intelligence to understand it is a float and then I'll convert. See, if it will do only one conversion, string to integer only it can do. Okay, it cannot do like integer of string, then integer of float. It will not do something like this. Understood?
Yeah, clear.
Okay, I'll tell you, take a note of it if you wanted that understanding. Int can be made it to float. Float can be made it to int. String number can be made it to int. String text can be made it to int. Integer can be made into. Okay, I'm sorry. I'll just tell you. What are the things? The int
To
to float possible? Yes. Float to int possible? Yes. Str number into int possible. str text into int. This is not possible, guys. str text. Okay, str text is not possible. Not possible. This is not possible. str text. Okay, and str float. Not possible. Correct? Understood?
Yes.
And again, list to integer is not also possible. This is also not possible. Understood this?
That collection of data anyhow can't be converted, right? Only that single number values or like integer, float, decimal.
Yes, correct.
Like that only can be made conversions.
Correct. If you wanted to do that one, right, every element inside that list to be converted into some integer, right, you have to use for loop to do it. For example, if you have a list of list is equal list, I'll make it my list. If you have my list, right, everything is integer, right? If I wanted to convert every element inside it to become a string, right, I'll use for loop for item in my list. Okay, I'll put print of, or I'll collect it with an empty dictionary. Okay, like a dot append. Okay, str of item. Okay, I'll put an empty list. Okay, and I can put something called print a. Understood what I made it here?
Yes, yes.
This is the
This
only way that you
scenario
can able to
will be used for further calculations if needed. We can go with it. In such cases only we'll be doing the conversions in list kind of collection kind of data center, correct?
Yes.
Okay, okay, understand.
Okay. See, Python only converts safely. The reason you may ask, like, see, 25 string is converted into a integer, but what is so difficult in converting 25.40 into an integer? First remove the quotes and then remove the point and put 25. What's so difficult now? Python
Even
will
I
do
thought
only.
it.
Python will do only if it is so safe to handle. Okay, it will not aggressively convert it. Okay, it will not guess aggressively. It will only convert whichever which it thinks it is safe enough to do. Okay, for the rest of the things we only have to do. For example, when I make 10 plus 5, right? When I make 10 plus quotes of 5, right? It will not see Python. We can think that if 5 means it should understand that it is thing and it should add it now, but it will not do. The only thing is we have to do something like this integer of 5 and we have to do it. Understood this?
Yes, yes, clear.
Okay, we'll wind it up here. Okay. Maybe next class we'll just go in deep with other topics. Okay, so today since it's first class, I just made it as the basic things. Tomorrow we'll just rush it up on operators, variables, and comments and documentation. Okay, how to write a reusable code and all, and then we'll go with this control flow. Okay, we'll understand control flow. Control flow break and continues there. Pass also I will add it. Okay, pass I think I have not added. And for loop, when I teach for loop, right?
Pass
I'll try
also was there in that. I have heard in the recording.
Yeah, yeah, okay. So in this attached PDF given for undo and you, right? I missed the pass thing. Break and continue only is there. I'll add pass also, and I'll teach you list comprehension. Okay, I think list comprehension is under list. I'll teach about it. List comprehension also try to understand it. And when we start list, right, I'll put so much of details inside it, the data structures. We'll brush up all the topics on list, dictionaries, and all those data sets. So just for the next few classes, right, you have to hold on because those topics will be known to you. Once we start with the NumPy, right, there starts your real understanding. From there, we'll start data cleaning, EDA, every steps we'll do. Okay, data transformations, everything that we'll do the unstack, group by everything we'll do. Okay, don't worry. We'll touch every topics. Okay, as per your syllabus, and even if I missed out anything, we'll add it that also. First thing is we are going NumPy and then only we'll go for Pandas. Okay, as per your syllabus, I mean Pandas first, but NumPy is the basic. On top of NumPy only, Pandas are built. Okay, so the order is something which we have to during the class we'll just make NumPy first and then Pandas.